that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. It's going to get wild. It is going to get to a place where you think, am I going nuts? So I want to give you 6 things to look out for that you've probably already experienced or will experience as we come closer to ascension. It's valuable to know what's going to be changing and how you're changing so that you can really flow through this ascension with as much ease as possible. Now I'm going to do something quite different in today's video that I don't normally do, and that is look at my screen where I've got some notes. I normally just speak from the cuff. I really want to give you these 6 pointers because they came through in a meditation, and I quickly whipped out pen and paper and I wrote them down. So I want to give them to you as they came through. So first thing that's going to be different is healing. The focus for spiritual people, for conscious people, the focus was always on what have I got to heal? What work on myself do I have to do? So the focus was always on I've got to fix something in order to be better and therefore more worthy, more loved, more acceptable, more whole, more something. Not that this was wrong. It was simply a focal point. Now the focal point is shifting from what do I have to heal to how fully present can I be? How fully in presence can I be? This single thing determines your overall frequency. And as you do this, as you stabilize yourself into presence, the healing is going to become automatic. And that's why, if it's already happened to you, that's why you don't have that need to heal, fix, because you're recognizing, wait a minute, I can tune into my wholeness, and that's more valuable. You become the most formidable force on the planet. The next thing that I want to share with you, you might have a laugh about. This is number 2 on what to expect as we move closer to the Ascension Line. I can best describe it as weird things or high strangeness. Just the other day, I was standing in my kitchen, totally away from water, totally away from anything. And I felt water on my feet. And I looked down, but there was no water. And I actually had to touch my foot because it felt just like water. But there was nothing there. It's not the first time it's happened, by the way. A little while later on in the day in my bedroom, I got this feeling like there was like a spray of mist on my arm. Again, I'm not anywhere near water. It was just a moment of high strangeness. But what that's about, oh, and obviously this is just an example. This isn't the thing that everybody's going to experience. But what is going on there is we are stepping through the veil. And by the way, spirit, that which we call spirit, which is really ether or energy, tends to interact with the physical body in such a way that we can feel cool, cold, or sometimes even water. It depends what we're in proximity to. So just putting that out there. Weird things, high strangeness. This is what I want to know from you. Put it in the comments. What is your high strangeness? Because I know that you've experienced some very weird, wacky, way out, inexplicable things. I certainly have. But this is going to keep escalating as we come closer to the Ascension Line. And it stands to reason, right? Because nothing in reality is as solid as we thought that it was. And we're beginning to see that reality, if it's not so solid, what does that mean? It's more wavy because it's more energetic. You're going to feel some days like you can put your hand through a wall and then confused when you can't. You're going to feel some days just by looking at the floor like that floor's moving, or that floor suddenly doesn't appear as solid as I'm used to it being. However this occurs for you, understand that reality, or the structure of reality as you expect it to be and have known it to be, it's not going to conform to that expectation for that much longer. And as you begin to experience these weird things, the high strangeness, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. It's going to get wild. It is going to get to a place where you think, am I going nuts? Am I losing my mind? You're going to see things out of your peripheral. You're going to start seeing the sky moving when you know in your brain it's not moving. Be prepared and be on the lookout. And just know, okay, all that this means, you see, that's why I wanted to do this video, is to reassure you that all that this means is you're ascending. Ascension is happening. It is not a moment. It's not the moment of what we call the flash. I'll link the most recent video that I did if you haven't seen it on the Ascension. If you're on YouTube, you'll find that link. And if you're on Instagram, just go to my videos and you're going to see the Ascension wave. That's the name of the video. So the third thing, what to expect as we come closer to the Ascension line, is that you're going to be experiencing the world differently, but in more detail. What does that mean? A sensitivity. Have you noticed this? That any of your senses, and I'm talking first about the physical senses, they can become very amplified, but equally, any of them can suddenly seem to deteriorate. Maybe it's your vision, maybe it's your sense of taste or smell. It's going to be one of the two. And again, this has got to do with how we interpret reality as all of these energetic changes come in. For me personally, my sense of hearing, oh my gosh, I feel some days like I can hear a pin drop 10 houses down. My sense of hearing has become so acute. So I wonder what it is for you. But this is more interesting. This is much more interesting than the sensitivity on the physical level. I think you've guessed it already. You will, and you probably already have, and it's going to amplify, experienced sensitivity on the emotional level where you are feeling so much. You cannot push it down. You cannot shove it down. The old coping mechanisms don't work. Again, that's a video that I did recently on why those coping mechanisms are not working. As you reel from the energetic input and can feel overwhelmed some days, understand that this is just part of the process. You're going to feel way more than you used to. What you're feeling now can feel like bombardment. It can feel like an onslaught. It can feel like it's coming from all sides. Don't stop to analyze. Don't stop to determine what is this, who put it there, what's this about. Just know, okay, there's a lot passing through my body right now. There's the key. It's passing through my body, and as it passes through your body, you don't attach a story to it. You don't attach to it. You simply allow it to pass, and this is how alchemy happens. This is how you transform reality. That emotional sense, being so acutely sensitive, is also going to spill over into another non-physical sensitivity, and that is into what we would call ESP, which is really just such an outdated term, isn't it? But your intuition, your extrasensory perception, your gut feel is going to become sharper. If it's already sharper and you're noticing, no, this is not even the tip of the iceberg. Again, you're going to go, what? I just thought of somebody and then they phoned. I just dreamt this and then it happened. I just felt this and then it occurred. I tasted my mouth and then somebody offered me that exact thing. However it occurs for you, your intuition off the charts. Why is this? Because you become more attuned to the world around you. There's less of a delay in what occurs and what you think and what you feel. It all is going to start to meld into one nowness. This one, number 4, of things that are going to happen as you approach the Ascension line. This one, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, and you've probably already experienced it, but I guarantee you it's going to pick up. And it's not necessarily going to be a bad thing until you understand it. That is, things are not always going to work out. And you're going to go, well, Kerry, that's just life. No, I'm talking about some things that you really want, and they're going on the surface to appear like really good things. I want to serve others. I want to open a healing center, for example, whatever it is for you. You're going to put your focus into it, and you know you're a manifester and a creator and a powerful being, and the more you focus on it and the more you create and the more you intend for it to happen and the more you're told through law of attraction, this is just meant to, I'm following all the steps, I'm doing all the right things, why isn't this occurring in my reality? Your higher path is going to kick in, and it's going to lead you, and it's going to lead you very often to somewhere that is bigger than you could envision or anticipate. And it could be that you're trying to go there and everything about you is pushing and pushing and aiming and intending to go there. But life has a higher, because it's always going to take you there. Life is never going to take you to a lower place. The universe is always going, especially now as we are moving to the Ascension Line, it is going to ascend you. It is going to elevate you, which means it's going to push you and challenge you. Sometimes the universe is going to take you on an even higher path, but that can be painful. That process of separating from the attachment of what you thought was the right thing for you into where the universe is sending you, that process can be painful. Things are not always going to work out, but they're going to exceed your expectation at the same time. Point number 5, you're not the same person that you were in the past. And when people relate to that person of the past, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel heavy. You're going to wonder, but this is my best friend for the last 30 years. Why can't I be in their company? Because they're relating to the you from the past, and you're not that same person. You're not relating to that you anymore. You've energetically evolved. You are no longer attached to that vibrational frequency, but they are. So anytime that happens, where you're around family or old friends and they expect you to be the person that you were, and you try to conform to that because something in you says, well, I should understand that you're walking the ascension path. You're becoming something that is almost undefined and undefinable. Allow that energy and meet yourself in it, because it's really exciting and it's really exhilarating, and ascension is meant to be that. It's not meant to be hard work. It's not meant to be, oh my God, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. This is meant to be joyous and freeing and liberating. And it's the return to your true self. So start celebrating that, would you? Start getting excited about that. No, I'm not the past self anymore. That's a huge triumph, because it really is. Point number 6, changes in taste. So listen to this one. Changes in taste. There's going to be music and food that you used to love, and I'm just using that as an example, could be anything, that suddenly you don't love it anymore. What's going on? You understand this, right? Your taste is going to change. Your taste in friends, your taste in what you want to do, like to do. It's totally different. You've got to adapt and be adaptable. Again, it's part of that fresh new feeling. Now, here's one that I want to throw in as a bonus. Let me give you a 7th point. This one is one of the most important, if not the most important. The 7th point of what to expect as you're approaching the Ascension Line is that you're going to feel like you don't want to be around people very much. And then you're going to think, am I depressed? Am I antisocial? Is there something wrong with me? Can I just not cope with the world around me? When you're in the presence of people, particularly what we might call mainstream thinkers, when you're in the presence of those people, sure, you're going to find it difficult to maintain your frequency, and that's that really just does take practice. But more importantly, you're going to feel at times energetically attacked. Why? Because you are. The more light you hold, the more bright you are, the more visible you are to some very undesirable astral characters. There is a beautiful term that my husband's got. I think it's quite hilarious. He refers to them as cosmic wildlife. We would call them entities and demons and attachments. And, it's a kind of sweet term, cosmic wildlife. But there you have it. Cosmic wildlife is very rife, rampant at the moment. So when you feel bombarded energetically, emotionally, this can be that you're being energetically drained on some level, and you'll know. And this is generally when you're around other people that I'm referring to. It's generally when you're around other people, and it's going to feel for you safer and easier to just be on your own. High strangeness and crazy times, but we're in it together. Lots of love, everyone. Bye-bye for now.